Next to her is Shenise Johnson, and on the end there is Stefanie Yderstrom. Yderstrom.
Try it again.
Yderstrom. Yderstrom. Okay, thank you. I knew I was going to have some trouble with that
That's a
one.
tough
I
one.
tried, though. I practiced all morning. Okay, let's open it up to the floor.
Coach Meier, what do you know about Idaho State?
I know they're very good. They're very, very good, and they share the ball. Very balanced team, so well coached, and they're very, very difficult to defend. And we try to always have our schemes, and we really pride ourselves on taking some things away. But there's just not one or two things you can take away to stop them. So they certainly have our attention.
They're built off of not just one player being the scorer.
Right.
How do you stop a team like that? What are your focus to?
Right, that's what I'm referring to. They're incredibly balanced, and so if you take one thing away, they're so smart. They have great vision, and they can find the other person who's open, and they have no question in terms of sharing the ball. You never see one selfish play on their team. They're just incredibly well coached, and they without question deserve to be here. They're a heck of a team. Yeah.
Coach, can you address the Williams situation and how that's going to alter and affect your team? Obviously, a main cog to what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, and I appreciate the magnitude of the story. I really do. I mean, it's one of the best players in the country. I understand that. I'm going to obviously refer to my comments in the press release. We have already moved forward. I'm disappointed. We are more than ready to take the court with who's here. We are more than ready, and I'm extremely confident in the team that I have with me right now, and awful proud of them. Yeah.
Is she off the team for good?
It's an internal situation that I'm going to keep referring to the press release, and it's not my style. I appreciate your job. I know what you have to do, but that's why we're going to keep it terse if we can. Appreciate it.
Coach, could you talk about that senior next to you and going back to her freshman year and the journey to where she's at now?
I got, 30 minutes? Okay. Yeah, I'll sit back and relax. It's going to be a long conversation. Without question, she's the most versatile player in the country. She'd be Mama over here. And one of the most versatile players that's ever played the game. And the stats back it up. And it's not just the points, it's not just the rebound. I mean, her favorite thing is to give an assist. And what she's done for this program, how she's conducted herself, how she's carried herself, how she wanted the mantle and never shied away from it, is just an incredible story. How she chose Miami is an incredible story. Why she chose Miami is an incredible story. And we had some dreams that we shared together back when you were 17, and I didn't have as much gray hair. And the dreams are really, coming to fruition, and I'm just so excited and so proud and just grateful. I mean, there's a lot of love here.
Shenise, Stefanie, I guess can you talk about just what you learned from last year's experience, being in the what you learned from last year's experience being in the NCAA tournament, and things you're doing, anything doing a little differently this time around.
I just think that coming down here, every play matters. Whether it be 1 second into the game or 30 seconds left in the game. We weren't down here for that long. We only played two games in the NCAA. So, I mean, I think the atmosphere is huge. But, I mean, we've faced, tough teams. We play in the ACC. So, I mean, I just think we have to come out here and play our game and stay relaxed.
Yeah, I agree. We have to be on our toes from the start to the end. And, I just think that I'm very excited to be here. And like last year, of course, we can still learn from last year, but I feel like we're a deeper team this year, more confident, and
Shenise, just following up with what Coach said, why did you pick Miami? Because at the time it was a rebuilding situation, and talk about those early years and your formation as a player.
I try to forget those early years, honestly. But the sole reason I came to Miami was for Katie Meier right here, honestly. I gravitated towards her spirit, her energy. I believed every word she said. One of the things she said to me when I came in was, what are you going to do for us? And I didn't hear that wherever, like when I was talking to other coaches in different institutions, it was more of, we're going to do this for you, we're going to do this for you. And she challenged me. And I know I needed that in my life in order to become the person that I have become today.
Howie Stahl, Tacoma News Tribune. Coach, excuse us for out here in this part of the country. We don't get to see you guys that often. Are you much in the way of full court presses and stuff, pressure defense, or how do you handle that?
I'd say much. Yeah. You're asking if we press a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the time?
Yeah, we have multiple defensive schemes. I kind of think that's what we build a lot of our identity and sort of fuels us from the energy side of things. Yeah, and it's something that I think it's a little bit more complicated than people even know. I think we spent a lot of time on the looks that we're going to give and why. And I think my team is awfully darn smart about rotations and reads, and they're a very instinctive team and a very athletic team. But sometimes people forget how smart they are, and they really make some high-level reads. If they were, cornerbacks in football, we might lead in interceptions. That kind of team.
You referred to Shenise about her versatility. Have you ever heard of somebody in Division I basketball leading a team in points, rebounds, assists, and steals? I've never.
Is that not funny? Because
It's bizarre.
I think I did once it too. No, for real, I'm not bragging because I could really care less, but I think that's the irony of it all.
Really?
Yeah. And which just funny you should ask.
Really? Huh.
But maybe that's why we gravitated towards each other.
I think I finished last in about 12 pitching statistics one year at Eastern Washington.
Yeah,
So we
good for
do
you.
have something in
Good for
common
you.
in a way.
Shots taken.
Shenise, next question to you. We're from Idaho, so we wanted to ask a couple questions about Idaho. Do you know anything about the state? Have you been to the state? What do you know about your opponent? And really, what do you know about the state of Idaho?
I really don't know much. I'm from Rochester, New York. I can say I like your pants, though.
Yeah. Fashion capital of the world, apparently.
We asked Coach Meier earlier about the team. She talked about them being a team and how that's
They're
gonna be a
very
tough
balanced,
stuff.
yes.
What do you know and what have you seen from them that will make it difficult for you guys tomorrow?
That they are very balanced, and they sag off and help and rotate for each other, and they play for each other. We're going to have to emulate them and do this exact same thing.
And how will you attack them? From your point of view, how do you attack their defensive schemes?
We can find out tomorrow.
Her freshman year, she would have told you everything.
Oh, I see.
So you know.
Stephanie, same question. From your point of view, when you look at Idaho State, what makes them difficult, and what makes this a difficult matchup for you guys?
I think they pretty much said it. They're very balanced. They have good shooters. Their defense is going to be a little bit difficult for us because we're not used to, the sagging lead that we've seen on film. Yeah, they said it all.
Coach Meier, did you have a chance to watch the Big Sky Championship game? And what did you learn from them? Because they didn't score a lot of points in that game, just 49. What did you learn about them from watching that game?
Oh, yeah, I've watched a lot of film. I actually, committed completely 100% to that scout. So that's the only film I've seen is Idaho State so far in this region. So they're good.
Coach, Spokane's, Miami's a long way, obviously, away from Spokane. Just talk about, the facility, your impressions of the town and the atmosphere so far.
Yeah, I think that it's such a special place. It's such a special basketball place. It's such a special fan base. We're more than excited to be here and experience. Obviously, it's not a neutral court situation, for everyone. It's the four teams that are here. There is a home team, but it's also no question that this is a big-time environment. This is a big-time moment in basketball. This is the NCAA tournament, and I would hate for it to feel anything different than that. So we kind of like a stage. We kind of like an audience. We like it. We're happy. We know the crowd will fill up. We know, it'll be a lot of noise in the arena, and, it's good for us. And so, they've been a tremendous host city so far, and we're thrilled.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I love the Davenport Hotel.
Yes.
The beds are so comfy.
Coach, what is the recipe right here? What is the recipe for success for your team?
Be Miami. Be Miami. And it's something that I feel like we respect all of our opponents. We do a ton of prep. Our kids are really into concepts. I mean, our team is very, very into concepts. We explain why. We keep telling them, don't just say do that, but they want to know why. And they have absolutely 100% permission to always ask why. And I'll call an offense and she'll come, why are we running that? It's not disrespectful. She really wants to know why we're running it. Steph will be like, I don't understand why. That's good. We're a concept team. And so if we get what we're trying to do and we understand what we're trying to take away from the other team, it can show up in 5 different defenses and 17 different offensive sets. But the concepts are there. And when we are on the same page conceptually, we're a very, very difficult team to play against.
Who moves in the starting line?
Crystal Saunders.
Okay, anything else for the student athletes? Okay, ladies, thank you very much. You're
Gracias.
excused.
Thank you. Good job, guys. Nice job. Nice job. You want by yourself? I think so.
Okay, anything else for Coach Meier?
Katie, I know obviously you can't get into specifics, but the same way this team overcame Morgan's injury earlier this year, I guess, like, how do you compensate for Raquana's absence now as far as, being able to, on the court now without her there?
Right. Yeah, that's absolutely a fair question. And we adapt and we play with the resiliency that we did. I mean, I think bringing up Morgan Stroman is a heck of a point. I mean, I'm sure people out here don't understand it. We lost an all-conference player to an Achilles tear right after a huge ACC, in the middle of a huge ACC game. And my team just has this toughness about them, and they just have this flexibility about them. But we play so many players that when someone needs to slide in, that's fine. When someone needs to expand, they do. I guarantee you we're going to play our tails off. I guarantee that, and I know that they're going to respond. And if we didn't have that resiliency, we didn't have the character, I'd be a little bit more panicked right now. But when I said I'm extremely confident, I mean it.
Can you talk a little bit about what your trek was like getting from one bottom edge of the country to the top edge of the country here?
Well, we got to spend some time together on that plane, so that was nice. I said we did schedule the shootout this year on purpose. One, because Sylvia Bullock is from Anchorage, but also because last year, when I did my crazy bracketology, I had us going out west, and we had 20 home games that year, and I thought, oh my goodness, like we barely traveled. And if now the biggest stage in the world, we're sent all the way across the country, are we mature enough? And the answer, frankly, probably would have been no. And so we changed our schedule, did everything we needed to do to get ourselves in a situation to where you get a draw like this and you don't go, oh no. You go, okay, that was a layover. That was a layover to Anchorage. We probably stopped here on our way to, so we're okay, and we just deal with it and move on. So, yeah, it was a heck of a trip. It was. We had to stop and refuel, and that's kind of odd, but we did. It was a nice big plane too. It still had to refuel, so that's what we got.
How long was that trip?
You know what? That's like focusing on. I don't know.
Yeah.
No idea. I got a lot of films in.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Anything else? Scott Zavitz is there in the Miami coat, so if you need him, he's the SID at University of Miami. He's happy to help you in any way he can. Coach, thanks for being with us today.
Appreciate it.